free agency has definitely been one of the bigger headlines of the last couple weeks here. A lot of movements with this lowered salary cap. We're seeing a lot of veteran players on the move. And I think it's obviously great from our standpoint, Joe. Obviously, getting talk sports, and you have all these players on the move, all these veterans on the move, all these impact players on the move. But a few of them have moved away from the Raiders, particularly in that offensive line. How are you feeling about the Raiders' optimism heading into 2021, given how they've done in free agency? They got to see Marcus Mariota take a pay cut, but is that enough?
A lot of Raider haters are coming out a lot, and they always do in the offseason. The Raider haters like to come out and they like to talk. I was upset with the Rodney Hudson move. With Rodney Hudson leaving the Raiders as a center and being the main guy on the offensive line, that was the one I was upset with. Gabe Jackson, bye, I'm good with that. Trent Brown, I'm good with you gone. The Raiders do have some young guys that can step in. They brought in Richie Cognito back. They brought in Nick Martin from the Houston Texans. They brought in some people, and they had the young guys that were already beating those other two guys out. Gabe Jackson was like the only one. They've been penny pinching people, like you said, with Marcus Mariota, and then a lot of players have come out against that. But it is a business. At the end of the day, it's a business, and it sucks. But I don't know. I'm still waiting for the Raiders to make a move in the secondary. They need a secondary guy. I thought they were going more defense here. They've signed so many offensive. I think they're up to like 16 defensive linemen, which is crazy. I don't know what they're doing, but I like I like it. I know they took a lot of heat for the offensive line move, but then when I went back and I did more research on it, and I'm guilty of it as a fan. I thought it was a top 5 offensive line, and I think that was what everybody in the NFL was thinking. But when you actually go and break it down the tape and you actually look at it and you look at the stats, they were actually like 12th, 13th best offensive line in the league. So I think they're going to be about right the same spot next year with that, and they might even be better. And they brought in a better running back in Kenyon Drake to back up Josh Jacobs. So I like the offseason so far. I'm not going to give them like an A+ or anything, but I'll give them a C.
I was actually going to ask you about Kenyon Drake. At over $10 million, do you think that is a good signing?
I think it's a good signing because Josh Jacobs tends to break down towards the end of the season. They need somebody to come in. Drake has never been, when he's been told to be the spotlight guy, he doesn't do it. Something happens. So when him being the second back, coming out of the backfield, being able to catch the ball, do a lot more stuff. You saw what Jon Gruden did with Booker last year, and now Booker went and got his money from the New York Giants. He's been taking these guys that have been outcast or everybody thinks their career's done or, on the downhill, like Kenyon Drake. They thought he was last year at Arizona that he didn't do the job that he was supposed to do, and now he's going to go to the Raiders, and hopefully Jon Gruden brings him back to life.
I still think you have an outside chance at Richard Sherman getting a veteran in that defensive backfield at this time. And I do think that it's always a smart strategy to build from the defensive line. Building in the trenches, that's kind of my approach to building out a roster. And I do have a lot of faith in Mayock. But going into this 4th year for Jon Gruden in a 10-year deal, how are you feeling about the guy? Because at this point, not having a winning season, not being in the playoffs, I know he's taken a lot of heat, but I think it's rightfully so given the contract security that he was given.
Well, you can always say that he's on the hot seat, but then you go, oh, no, he has a 10-year deal. My thing is, I like to give coaches 3 years. I think 3 years is your number one thing. I'm gonna take Jon Gruden's first year off because of all the cap stuff they did, all the players they got rid of. I'll give you that first pass. So this will technically be, in my eyes, his 3rd year. The first year I'm not going to really count. So this will technically be his 3rd. I want to see playoffs this year. As a Raider fan, you need to make the playoffs. The last 2 seasons, you've started 6-4 and finished 7-9, 8-8. No, that's not cutting it. Raider Nation deserves to be in. The NFL is better with the Raiders winning. And Jon Gruden came in here and he said he was going to lead us to the promised land. This is year 4. Number 3 with your players. Year 3 with your players. Make it happen. Go out there and do it. Make it happen.